What if I told you there's a natural compound available without a prescription that some clinical trials suggest may work comparably to one of the most prescribed diabetes drugs on the planet? Sounds too good to be true, right? Stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll have the research to evaluate for yourself. Today's topic, berberine, nature's metformin. Trust me, you want to watch this all the way through. I want to tell you about a woman named Patricia. She was on metformin for 6 years, and it was working, but the side effects were tough. Stomach cramps, nausea, bathroom emergencies at the worst possible times. Her doctor said it was just something she had to live with. Then Patricia learned about berberine. She brought the research to her doctor, they worked together to create a plan, and within 3 months, her A1C was stable with notably fewer side effects. Patricia didn't replace her medical care, she enhanced it in partnership with her healthcare team. And today's science may help you understand why her experience is worth exploring. Let me start with the research because understanding why you're eating what you're eating is what makes this approach different from every other meal plan. Berberine is a plant alkaloid found in golden seal, Oregon grape, and barberry. A notable 2008 study in Metabolism compared berberine head-to-head with metformin, the most prescribed diabetes drug, and found that berberine was associated with a reduction in HbA1c of about 0.9% compared to metformin's 0.7%. These results suggested comparable efficacy in that particular trial, though more research is always valuable. Let that sink in. This isn't my personal opinion. This is from peer-reviewed, published clinical research, and it has direct implications for what you eat today. Berberine appears to work by activating an enzyme called AMPK, adenosine monophosphate activated protein kinase, which is often called the metabolic master switch. When AMPK is activated, research suggests your cells may become more sensitive to insulin, your liver may produce less glucose, and fat metabolism may increase. Stay with me here because this is where it gets really interesting. Chia pudding, your breakfast today, is packed with alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3 that your body may convert to EPA. Combined with almonds that provide magnesium and vitamin E, this breakfast is designed to support both inflammation management and blood sugar regulation. Now, I want to connect this research directly to your plate. Every ingredient in your meals was chosen with this science in mind. Nothing is random. Every bite is intentional. The combination of turkey, avocado, and whole grain in today's lunch wrap provides what some researchers call a complete glycemic response meal. Protein, healthy fat, and complex carbs that together may produce a more stable blood sugar curve. The research I'm referencing, Yin et al., 2008, Metabolism, berberine versus metformin, a randomized clinical trial exploring efficacy in type 2 diabetes management. Link in the description. I always encourage you to look at the data yourself. Let me address a common misconception right now. Myth: natural supplements cannot be as effective as prescription medications for blood sugar support. Here's what the research shows. Multiple randomized controlled trials have found that berberine may reduce hemoglobin A1c by 0.9 to 1.5 percentage points, which is in a range comparable to what metformin typically achieves. A meta-analysis of 27 clinical trials found that berberine was associated with significant reductions in fasting blood glucose, post-meal glucose, and A1C. However, and this is crucial, berberine works differently than metformin and can interact with other medications. Never start berberine without consulting your doctor first. Natural does not mean without risk. But it also does not mean we should ignore the evidence. Berberine supplements have surged in popularity, with some calling it nature's Ozempic. While this comparison is an oversimplification, berberine sales increased substantially in recent years. Some functional medicine practitioners recommend 500 milligrams 3 times daily with meals as a potential adjunct to dietary changes, though individual needs vary. If you're interested in berberine, look for berberine HCl supplements standardized to 97% purity. Thorne Berberine 500 and Integrative Therapeutics Berberine are well-regarded options. Always consult your doctor first, especially if you're already on metformin, as they have similar mechanisms and combining them could potentially cause low blood sugar. Spotlight: almonds. Sliced almonds in your chia pudding provide a strong diabetes supportive nutrient profile. 6 grams protein, 3.5 grams fiber, and 14 grams of monounsaturated fat per ounce. A 2017 meta-analysis in the Journal of Clinical Lipidology found that consuming 45 grams of almonds daily was associated with reduced HbA1c and lower fasting glucose. Almonds contain a combination of magnesium and chromium that may directly support insulin function. They have a glycemic index of essentially 0, meaning they do not raise blood sugar on their own. The fiber and fat in almonds may slow digestion of any carbs eaten alongside them, creating what's sometimes called a co-ingestion effect that could help moderate glucose spikes. Keep a bag of raw almonds accessible. All right, let's eat. Breakfast on day 11. Chia pudding with coconut milk, vanilla, and sliced almonds. This breakfast is built around Berberine supportive nutrients. The bitter greens in today's morning meal contain compounds that may activate the same AMPK pathway that Berberine targets. The eggs provide choline, which supports liver function, and that's important because Berberine is processed through the liver. The whole grain toast provides slow-release glucose that gives your glucose-lowering mechanisms something to work with gradually rather than all at once. The avocado provides healthy fats that may improve absorption of fat-soluble compounds. Together, these ingredients are designed to create a metabolic environment where your body's natural glucose regulation may be optimized from the very first meal. Here is a practical tip for getting the most from food sources that contain berberine supportive compounds. If you are using turmeric and bitter herbs in cooking, always combine them with a fat source and black pepper. These compounds tend to be fat soluble, meaning they may absorb better when consumed with olive oil, avocado, or nuts. A simple technique: create a paste with turmeric, black pepper, and olive oil, then use it as a base for sauces and dressings. This combination may help increase bioavailability compared to consuming these compounds on their own. By now, your body may be adapting. Many people report less hunger between meals, more stable energy, and diminishing cravings around this point. That's not willpower, it may be biology. Your insulin efficiency, gut bacteria, and hunger hormones could be finding a new equilibrium. Trust the process. Before we get to lunch, let me tell you about today's exercise. It's specifically chosen to complement the science we just discussed. Today's exercise: swimming or water walking. Best time? Afternoon, 20 to 30 minutes. If you have access to a pool, today is aquatic exercise day. Water exercise may be ideal for people managing diabetes because it's zero impact, can burn significant calories, and the water pressure may help improve circulation. Option A, swimming. 20 minutes of mixed strokes at a moderate pace, resting as needed. Option B, water walking. Walk in chest-deep water for 25 minutes, pumping your arms and lifting your knees high. Option C if you don't have a pool. 25-minute brisk walk with exaggerated arm swings and high knee lifts. The science behind this. Research suggests aquatic exercise may reduce blood sugar comparably to land-based exercise while being much easier on joints, which can be important for people who have joint concerns. A 2015 study in the Journal of Physical Activity and Health found that 8 weeks of aquatic exercise was associated with a reduction in HbA1c of about 0.57% in participants with type 2 diabetes. Remember, exercise for people managing blood sugar isn't just about burning calories. It's about creating glucose disposal pathways. When you move, your muscles can absorb glucose from your blood through processes that may not fully require insulin. Always check with your doctor before starting a new exercise routine, especially if you're on insulin or medications that can cause low blood sugar. Now let's talk lunch. Day 11, turkey and avocado wrap, whole grain, with side salad. Today's lunch continues the berberine supportive strategy with foods rich in fiber and polyphenols that may support AMPK activation. The leafy greens contain chlorogenic acid, a natural compound that research suggests works through a similar enzymatic pathway as berberine. The lean protein provides amino acids that support your liver's processing of both berberine-like compounds and glucose. The olive oil dressing contains oleorupine, which some studies have associated with improved insulin sensitivity. This lunch is designed as a whole food support system for your metabolic pathways. Practical tip: eat slowly. Research suggests that fast eaters may have significantly higher diabetes risk than slow eaters. Chewing thoroughly may help release satiety hormones and give your brain time to register fullness. Aim for 20 minutes minimum per meal. Today's snack: trail mix, 1 ounce, nuts, seeds, unsweetened coconut. This isn't mindless snacking, it's strategic metabolic support. Timed for mid-afternoon, 3 to 4 hours after lunch, to help prevent the blood sugar dip that may trigger poor dinner choices. By preempting that potential dip with protein and fat, you may reduce cravings before they start. Now dinner. Day 11. Baked halibut with lemon dill sauce, steamed asparagus, and quinoa. Tonight's dinner is timed thoughtfully because Berberine's glucose-lowering effect is considered strongest when taken with meals. The fiber-rich vegetables in this dinner slow the absorption of glucose, potentially giving berberine-like mechanisms more time to activate AMPK and support glucose uptake into your cells. The lean protein component supports overnight muscle repair and glucose utilization. Notice the absence of refined carbohydrates. At dinner, when insulin sensitivity tends to be lowest, we want to minimize the glucose load your body needs to process during sleep. This dinner is designed to work with your body's natural rhythms. Research suggests insulin sensitivity tends to decrease between morning and evening. The same meal that barely raises blood sugar at 8 a.m. may have a notably larger impact at 8 p.m. That's why dinner is moderate in carbs, rich in protein and non-starchy vegetables. Try to eat at least 3 hours before bed, and the post-dinner walk is highly recommended. Research suggests even 10 minutes may help reduce your post-dinner spike. Plates in the sink, shoes on, walk around the block. Today's nutritional breakdown: 1,510 calories total. Protein, 93 grams. Carbs, 108 grams. Fat, 75 grams. These macros are designed with type 2 diabetes management in mind. You should not feel hungry or deprived. If you do, add more vegetables and protein. Always consult your healthcare provider about the right caloric intake for your individual needs. If you're monitoring your blood sugar, and I encourage you to discuss a monitoring plan with your doctor, here are today's key testing moments. Fasting before breakfast, 2 hours after breakfast, and 2 hours after dinner. These 3 data points tell you how your body responded to today's meals. Write them down. Over 30 days, the patterns become incredibly informative. If you're on insulin or medications that can cause hypoglycemia, be especially attentive when changing your diet or exercise routine. Always have a fast-acting glucose source available. Your safety comes first. Let me get practical about berberine. If you and your doctor decide it's worth exploring, here's what the real-world application looks like. Start with 500 milligrams once daily with your largest meal for the first week. If you tolerate it well, increase to 500 milligrams twice daily, then 3 times daily with meals. Take it with food, not on an empty stomach, or you may experience significant GI discomfort. Keep your blood sugar monitor handy because berberine can lower glucose noticeably, especially if you're already on medication. Many people notice improved fasting numbers within 2 to 3 weeks. If you cannot take berberine or choose not to, today's meals still support the same metabolic pathways through whole food compounds. A question I hear often about berberine: can I take it with metformin? This is critically important. Berberine and metformin work through similar pathways, and combining them can potentially lower blood sugar too much. Some integrative physicians do use them together at lower doses of each, but this absolutely requires medical supervision. Never combine berberine with any diabetes medication without your doctor's explicit guidance. The goal is to explore options with professional support, not to self-medicate. What to be mindful of today: trail mix with candy pieces or chocolate chips, as many commercial mixes can be 50% candy. Coconut water, which is marketed as healthy but contains about 11 grams of sugar per cup with minimal fiber. Taking berberine without medical supervision if you're on blood sugar medications, as interactions are possible. Dried fruits in excess, since the dehydration process concentrates sugars, and a quarter cup of raisins has about 25 grams of sugar. You don't need to be perfect, you need to be consistent. Follow this plan most of the time, and you may see meaningful results. Every healthy choice is a deposit in your metabolic bank account, and those deposits can compound over time. I want to hear from you right now. Have you ever tried berberine or any natural supplement for blood sugar support? What was your experience? Drop your story in the comments. Your experience could help someone else who is watching this video and wondering whether to talk to their doctor about it. And if you have questions about berberine interactions with your current medications, put those in the comments too. I will do my best to address them. Let us recap today's key takeaways. First, berberine appears to activate AMPK, the same metabolic pathway targeted by metformin, and some clinical trials suggest comparable A1C reductions. Second, berberine may work through multiple pathways simultaneously, potentially improving insulin sensitivity, reducing liver glucose output, and slowing carbohydrate digestion. Third, always consult your doctor before starting berberine, especially if you are on other medications, because interactions are possible. Fourth, food sources of berberine supportive compounds include golden seal, Oregon grape, and bitter herbs. Fifth, today's meals were designed to support AMPK activation through whole food compounds that may work alongside berberine's proposed mechanism of action. That wraps day 11. We went deep into berberine, AMPK activation, and natural glucose-lowering compounds, the research, why it matters for blood sugar, and how every meal today is designed around this science. Remember, everything I shared today is educational. Your body is unique. What works for one person may not work identically for another. Always partner with your healthcare provider when making changes to your diet, exercise, or supplement routine, especially if you're on medication. Day 12 is Gut Health Day, and I'm going to introduce you to a concept that's gaining a lot of attention in diabetes research, the gut-brain blood sugar axis. Your gut bacteria may be sending signals to your brain that influence your appetite, your cravings, and even how your pancreas functions. Tomorrow's meals are specifically designed to support the bacteria that may send helpful signals. If this helped you, if you learned something new, hit like. It's free, takes 1 second, and helps the algorithm show this to other people who may benefit. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single day. Drop your biggest takeaway in the comments. I read every single one. Remember, every meal is a choice. Every choice sends a signal to your body. You are not powerless against this condition. You are informed by research, equipped with a plan, and supported by a community. I'll see you tomorrow on day 12. Until then, eat well, move well, live well.